participate. Are you always looking for volunteers?
Yes, I can say that we're always looking for volunteers.
Okay.
And if we have a really pressing need, we will even train people individually. It's better to train people in a group, I think, initially, because they get to interact with other volunteers and people can hash out issues and that kind of thing. So I think it kind of is better that way. Once somebody's plugged in, then we have tutor meetings that we encourage people to come back to so they can talk to their tutors.
Now, how often do you do training? Is it as needed?
As needed. And shortly we'll be able to, if people want this, they'll be able to do some of the training online, which will take some of they can do it at their own pace instead of coming into classes every week.
That would be pretty good. Yeah, so people love it, online stuff. Yeah.
Some people do, some people
don't. Some people still want the classroom type experience.
So if people are interested, right, they just need to contact our office and say, we'll have them fill out an initial application and have people come in and talk to the coordinator.
I could have Michelle put up the there we go. We've got Literacy Volunteers of Broome, Tioga, and that's on at the Broome County Library.
It is. We're on the second floor of the Broome County Public Library.
Okay, and the actual address is 185 Court Street in Binghamton. And we have a phone number up there. It's 607-778-6406. If you're looking to email on behalf of somebody and you want to know more, literacy@aol.com. That's literacy@aol.com.
And it's the same for people who are interested in being students as well. The second floor of the public library, which is easy for people to get to on the bus route, that kind of thing. Since our move to the library, which has been about 2.5 years, definitely walk-ins increase. People are in the library. It's just a central place to be in.
We can't thank them enough.
We were in West Endicott, and we were in a small office that was hard for people to find.
So you're in a very public place.
So now we're in a very public place.
Now, when you are a volunteer and you meet with somebody, is that at the library, or do you meet other places, or how does that work?
All three of the labs are located at the second floor in the exhibit room of the library. But we leave it to students and tutors once they get matched up to determine where, conveniently and time-wise, where and when they would like to meet. We encourage social public places for a meeting, and the library is probably the best of those.
A lot of people, but some people meet depending geographically what's convenient. So some people are at the Vestal Library or the Johnson City Library. Wherever it's convenient, we sort of have to mandate that it be in a public place and not in someone's home.
Absolutely.
But sometimes people meet at Barnes & Noble, different restaurants, wherever's convenient for them.
Okay, more is conducive to learning.
Conducive to learning.
Yeah. So what do you believe, working at this as you both do, what do you believe holds people back from signing up to get this literacy assistance?
Well, I think there are some really important factors. One is that for an adult to admit to a literacy problem, even to themselves, sometimes takes a while. And maybe, as I say, it might take a life-changing event, and then they realize that they would need it. Sometimes it's the fact that they were planning on getting a high school equivalency. They dropped out of school, but they were planning on doing that. And then when they go to BOCES to find out how to do that, their test scores are too low to be accepted in that program. So then they come to us for a while until they can get the scores up. But I think the barriers, they're psychological, they're emotional, and then there's the fact that maybe they don't know about us yet, which is why it's great to be on here.
We're trying to take care of that.
Yeah.
I would add to that that time is a big factor, where for the most part we are dealing with adults who lead adult lives, and whatever that may contain, it may be it's a daunting prospect to add sessions with a tutor and homework to that schedule.
I know exactly, because I did do an online back to school, and I know as you get older, I think it's much harder, and you have families and jobs, and and such.
They don't give you more hours in the day when you get older.
No, as much as you
Seems like
can
it shrinks.
ask. Do you find that your student, there's any typical profile of your student, or are we talking people of all
No.
ages and
All ages, from 18 on. One of our older students in the math lab, she's probably in her 70s.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Seriously?
just runs, yeah, they come from everywhere. And then, of course, our ESL students are from all different countries and speak different languages. So.
no, is it 18 and up?
Yes,
your-
someone needs to be out of school for at least a year and be
Okay.
18 before they can come. So if they dropped out at 16, they could come to us at 18.
All right, so, well, we'll just move on to the volunteer part of it. What would you tell somebody? I can ask you first. You look like you're dying to say something over there. What would you tell somebody who's thinking about, maybe they're teetering around the edge of being a volunteer?
Sure. To get back to time, if you're looking to become a tutor, you're an adult who has an adult schedule, just like the student. But I would say that we have other volunteer opportunities other than tutoring. So because we do require a commitment, and it is a responsibility to be a tutor. It's an 18-hour course to begin with, and it's challenging, but not daunting per se. We have other ways to help, and we would ask you to call and find out what those are.
Are there any of those things that you can elaborate on?
Well, we use clerical volunteers. We also use volunteers for fundraising. We have an all-volunteer board of directors, of course, as all nonprofits do. And if someone has a particular skill that they'd like to share that we haven't already touched on, they can call and talk about that. It could be that if someone has a specific skill that they'd like to share with students, we can make that available to this if they want to teach something else that isn't being taught.
Have you ever found that any of your volunteers over the past have come back and helped, have volunteered? Is that something you would encourage?
Oh, our students, you mean?
Yeah.
Like if our students come back?
Sorry. Yeah, your students.
We actually do have one student who's done that since I've been there. There may have been others before I was there, but one that I can think of.
All righty. Well, I have normally my last question here is and start with you, Jane. What is the one thing you would tell someone who's listening or watching today, and they're thinking about the program either to come to learn or to volunteer to help in a way? What would you highlight for them so that they know?
Well, I would say a good gauge would be if someone's interested in this issue, to do what you did, which is to actually just go through their daily life and think about how literacy and being able to compute with numbers affects their everyday life, and what it would be like if you weren't able to do that. And then think of what kind of a teacher you would be if you've had experience or you haven't had experience teaching someone. Probably you've had experience doing homework with kids, or there are other things, but you could learn new skills and do that. And it's really a gift to yourself to be able to watch somebody learn something.
And know you've helped them along the way. Okay.
Yeah.
How about you, Gary?
The one thing, what I would add to that is it's going to change you. You're going to, whether you become a tutor or come in as a student, if you put time in, it's going to change you. You're going to see results. I would say to somebody thinking about coming in as a tutor, if you doubt for a second that you have the ability, if I can do it, anybody can do it. We have, as Jane mentioned, a training course, online help, seminars, and a quarterly newsletter that we put out, just to keep in touch and keep current with our tutors, and we want to help you learn how to teach.
So you have support for your
We do.
Absolutely.
I want to
volunteers,
stress
your
that you're not
tutors.
just going in by yourself cold. We have
Yeah.
support for people.
Do you
We
find
got your
that,
back.
do you find that your tutors and your volunteers come from all over all walks of life, any type of, any age, any?
Yeah.
We've got a former BCC professor. We have students who are interested in potentially being teachers later on in their lives. I come from a blue-collar background. Yes, it runs the gamut.
Okay, that is awesome. I think I'm going to read here. I actually have the mission statement of the literacy volunteers that I hope you don't mind. I pulled it off
No.
the website. I absolutely love it.
And people could go to our website also, broome-tioga-literacy.org.
All right, so it says, the mission of literacy volunteers of Broome, Tioga counties is to assist adults in developing functioning literacy skills. This includes improving the students' ability to read and write, perform basic math functions, and to use computers, as well as to speak and comprehend the English language. The service is provided at no cost to students. We utilize trained volunteers to provide these confidential educational services through a learner-centered approach that values and honors individual students' needs and goals. I absolutely love that. I could put up your information one more time and maybe see if there's anybody, I would love to have you end up with more participants and more volunteers. And we've got Literacy Volunteers of Broome and Tioga. It's on the second floor of the Broome County Library. It's at 185 Court Street in Binghamton, New York. Phone number is 607-778-6406, and that's literacy, literacy, at AOL.com. If you are thinking about being a part of this program in any way, shape, or form, it would be awesome if you gave a call, maybe shot it over an email, and you have a website that they can check out?
Yes, it's www.broome-tioga-literacy.org.
Okay.
And we're on Facebook also.
You're on Facebook.
Yes.
I love social media. So you guys have, it keeps you both very busy?
Yes. I should say also, I meant to say our office hours for walk-in people, it's Monday through Friday from 10:30 to 2:30. The office is open at other times, and also if someone can't come in during that time, then we'll make a special appointment with them and be there. And the other thing is that I wanted to thank both the United Ways of Broome and Tioga County, who provides some funding for us, and New York State, which provides funding, and BOCES, which also provides us with a little funding. So,
if I could add to that, the Broome County Library is a fantastic facility.
Absolutely.
I'd like to thank the staff and administration of the Broome County Library for providing a perfect environment for our mission.
Okay.
it's a perfect match.
You guys are amazing. Thank you, Jane.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
for
you
coming.
very
Thank you,
much.
Gary.
Thank you.
And I'm Kelly Devine. I thank you for joining us, and may your day be blessed.